Not all heroes wear capes, folks. In fact, some of them wear paper hats and flip burgers. I want you to take a look at the inside of a Habit Burger in Antioch, California, where a young lady named Bianca Palomera recently lost an eye defending a special needs child from a guy who was bullying him mercilessly merely for looking at him funny. Palomera stepped in, telling the man to leave the kid alone, that he was special needs and didn't know what he was doing. But this dude, twice her size, not only didn't back down, he got back in her face and started calling her names. And then out of nowhere, he smacked her in the jaw. Then when she tried to defend herself, he hit her again, this time a lot harder and in the head. The result, she lost one of her eyes. She was rushed to the hospital, but the doctors were not able to save it. And as of now, police are looking for the guy and hoping to bring him to justice. Now, in some ways, that's a sad story. Nobody likes to see someone bullying someone else, especially if that someone else lacks the mental or emotional capacity to stand up for themselves. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that nobody particularly enjoys losing an eye either. In fact, it seems like the only person who didn't suffer much at all here was the weapons-grade dickhead who bullied a special needs kid and then beat the shit out of a young lady half his size. And maybe we'll get lucky and find out if he got run over by, some, truck driver or something like that, being driven by a kid with Down syndrome. But in general, that isn't the way the world works, unfortunately. Now, I'm a glass half full kind of guy, and at least want to point out that there is something positive to be taken away from this story. And that positive thing is heroism. Yep, heroism. Listen to what this girl said when she was asked about whether she wished she hadn't engaged the man. She said, "Deep down, there will always be a little regret, but I wouldn't take it back." Now, that's a tough little, mamacita right there. That's a storming the beaches of Normandy type of response, in my opinion, because it's not just bloviated virtue signaling. You can tell a lot about the character of a person who feels some regret about the actions he or she must undertake, but then does them anyway because they're the right thing to do. And I think we can all take a lesson here. Doing good in the world isn't always easy. It's not always fun. It doesn't always end up rewarding you in the way you'd like, or, hope that it would. In fact, sometimes it can shatter you. There's a whole lot of people's bodies resting at the bottom of graves or his bones sinking into the earth because they did the right thing. We can take a lesson from that kind of courage and have it in the forefront of our minds so that when our own opportunities to do good in the face of adversity rise, so do we. Now, Bianca, if you're out there and you happen to be listening to this or someone can share it with her, let me give you a word of advice. You wear that eye patch with pride. Wear it as if you earned it because you did. For whatever it's worth, you're a badass in my book. And hey, let's say by some miracle you run into this dude again, before the law gets a hold of him. I'm not going to say you should employ the old eye for an eye dictum, but I would like to just casually inform you that you can buy brass knuckles on Amazon. Or my buddy over at Knuckle Sammy's. Something to think about. I love you. God bless you.